know, you might scratch your head if I told you that Aretha Franklin, Abraham Lincoln, Kurt Cobain, and so many others have one thing in common. Aside, of course, from being American icons, all three of them died without wills written at the time of their death, and they are far from being alone. In 2016 Gallup poll, it showed that 44% of Americans have a will prepared. That means the rest don't. Joining me now, Brad Micklin. He is a family law attorney, and Carol Roth is back with us as well. Now, Brad, you do this on a more personal, face-to-face level. What are the impediments? In other words, when someone finally comes to see you and you say, what took you so long? What do they tell you?
Well, they have a lot of different excuses, and we see even with the long list of people that you name, because don't forget we have Prince also, whose litigation is still ongoing regarding his estate. So we have Prince, we have the Queen of Soul. It's like the royal family of music, and nobody's giving good advice. And I think the main reason for these kind of people, the people in their inner circle like to stay in their inner circle, and nobody likes to talk about death. So if you have a high-profile client who doesn't like to talk about death, you're not going to do it. But what you're doing is you're leaving their friends, their family, and even yourself with a slew of problems, both tax and legal problems that they're going to have to deal with.
When these things are publicized, do you see at least a temporary bump in people on your phone? Does your phone ring a little bit more often, or do you see an increase of people coming to your office?
Maybe. It's hard to say. I mean, there's certain times of the year that people get more litigious and more concerned. Holidays are always a big time. Summer's a big time. But I don't think these kinds of issues really prompt people to get over their fear of talking about death.
And final words of wisdom?
Final words of wisdom is on this commercial break. I want to make sure that you have a will.
Okay. You bring a kit for me?
I'll bring
and a future file system.
Well, you know what? It is a very serious issue, and it rips up families, and it's unnecessary, but it happens far too often. Thank you both very much. Really appreciate it.